Hello? Yes, this is Agent Sadie. Okay, we'll be there in an hour.
What was that?
There's been a kidnapping in Alabama. They need us to report there now.
Paige, did you forget that we have Brittany following us?
Bring her with us so we can watch her during her probation period.
We're investigating kidnapping. I remember back at Quantico when we learned about kidnapping.
Yeah, but we're also in charge to gather facts of 260 violations and then report them to headquarters in Washington, D.C.
Anyways, in this case, Cassandra Ryan was stolen from her room at 2 a.m. The Alabama PD has a hair sample for us to store in Elgin and send to the lab.
Brittany, did you know that J. Edgar Hoover installed the Identification Division in 1924? This made it easier for us agents to check on the criminals, but harder for them to escape.
I did know that. But he also created the forensics unit for the FBI in 1932. But along with that, he raised educational standards too.
You know how one must earn a degree in law, accounting, language, or diversified? What did you major in? And Anna here is an accountant, and I am a lawyer.
Well, I majored in language. I speak fluently the most common languages: Spanish, Russian, Arabic, and Chinese. They're all helpful for the agency.
Sorry to ruin the fun, but we have arrived.
Okay, so what do we have here?
Well, over here, as you can see, she fought her attacker and he dragged her out the window.
Look, I found some evidence near the window.
What is it?
It looks like a piece of rope. The unsub must have tied her hands back to get her out the window.
Nana, we have some questions about your daughter's whereabouts from last night.
Yes. Why couldn't Donna go to bed?
About 11 p.m. She was out studying with her friends until 10:30.
Okay, we'll need the names, addresses, and phone numbers of Cassandra's friends.
Okay.
Were you guys with Cassandra last night? And if so, what were you doing?
We were studying for our history test.
Okay, well, where were you from 12 to 1 a.m. last night?
At 1 a.m., I was at home with my family enjoying a movie we were watching.
I was doing some homework I forgot to do over the week.
Okay, that's all for your help. Thank you all for your help. If we need any more answers, we will be sure to call you first. I've talked to Blake's parents, and indeed they were all watching a movie that night, so we can cross out Blake as a suspect.
Okay, I have talked to Amber's parents, and they tell a different story. According to Mr. Johnson, Amber was staying at her friend's house that night and did not return home until 9 this morning. She has scratches up and down her arms and legs.
Okay, we will need her day and night to check if there is any and on the rope.
I will call the judge and ask for a permit to get her DNA.
FBI!
Hello?
Hello, is Amber Johnson here? We need a swab of her DNA.
Yes, Amber, honey.
What do you want?
Yes, Amber, we need your DNA.
Oh, but what is that?
So we can see if your DNA matches the one that we found at the crime scene.
Okay, what do you need? A blood sample of a lock of hair.
No, just a swab of your saliva.
DNA. They tested the rope, and the DNA they came back positive. The rope had Amber's DNA all over it.
What are you going to do about the situation, Paige?
We could bring her in for interrogation and ask her how her DNA got all over the rope.
That's a good idea.
Then hang her.
Hello, Amber. Want to explain to us how you gave us all those scratches?
You know, I went snorkeling yesterday, and by accident, I kept rubbing against the rocks.
That's a good story, but kind of hard to believe since your father told me you had them Saturday morning as well, and that we're in the middle of Alabama.
Funny story, actually. I went over to her house to borrow the rope before going to my friend's house so could sneak out and her parents wouldn't find out when I left to go to my place. I stopped by her and threw the rope in the room, not bothering looking if Cassandra was in the room.
Thanks for coming in. If we need more help, I will call you in.
No, you did it. We just want to know where she is and why did you do it.
Never catch me alive!
I got this. Meanwhile, you start searching the house for clues at the whereabouts of Cassandra.
Okay. Okay, where to start? If I was a teenage girl, where would I keep all my secrets from my parents without them finding out? Oh my gosh, this is big! Cassandra isn't in the state. Amber shipped her out to the UK to a relative, so she isn't found.
Ready, go!
I got you!
You'll never catch me alive!
Right to remain silent. If you do say anything, what you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to consult with a lawyer, and you have that lawyer present during any questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you if you so desire.
What did I do? I had to hold her hostage for her flirting with my boyfriend. She deserved to feel the same pain as I did.
Get over here, you!
No.
Hereby, in the state of Alabama, plead Amber Johnson guilty for kidnapping in the second degree and denying arrest from an agent in first degree.
Brittany, what did you think of this case?
I think it was strange, but I think it was awesome to experience from the best.
Oh, thanks, Brittany. But there are 12,737, counting us, agents working to stop crime.
Indeed, there are 53 field offices in the United States and 40 more offices around the world.
So if I get hired, I could be assigned to work outside the U.S.?
That's right, but that does not always happen. Anyways, what questions do you have about the job?
So, how long does a agent require to work?
An agent is required to work a 40-hour week. When an investigation is in process, long hours, work nights, weekends, and holidays are expected to work through. Yeah, it is very beneficial. An agent earns at least $6,000 annually for overtime.
That's awesome. So to be an agent, one must always have a free schedule?
Yep.
Anything else you want to know about the job?
Yeah, just one thing. You know how there are GS10 and higher? What does GS stand for?
GS stands for General Schedule. The GS describes the level of knowledge and responsibility that different government jobs require. The higher the level, the more you get paid. The senior executive receives around $130,000 annually.
That's higher. The higher you are in general schedule, the higher you get paid, right?
That's right.
Well, agents, we have arrived.
Thanks for allowing me to follow you guys on this case.
It's our pleasure.
So, we're investigating a kidnapping. I remember back at Quantico, we learned about a kidnapping.
Callie! Okay, so what you do is you just open the door when we knock. Let's go.
Oh, why are you filming?
Kelly, you're not supposed to be filming yet.
It's called bloopers.
We're not doing bloopers.
The sisters at work.
You're Amber. Well, not you.
No one likes you.
Kelly, stop that.